I remember that moment like it was yesterday, even though it's been more than 5 years ago now. My husband and I were standing in the kitchen talking about money because that's what we always talked about then. And he looked right at me and he said, "Jackie, you're going to have to go get a job." And like any other new mother with a 1-year-old who refuses to sleep, who hasn't slept more than a couple hours in a year, who's overwhelmed and tired and frustrated and scared, I burst into tears and ran away. I ran upstairs and threw myself on the bed and I cried and I cried and I cried, and there was no way. There was just no way after a year of being home with my baby that I was going to be able to go back and get a job. That just was not part of the plan. So in that moment where I'm bawling hysterically and I think my husband just left to go to work or something, I made a decision. I made a decision that no matter what, I was not going to get a job. I was going to make it working from home. I was going to make money working from home, raising my child and doing what I love. In that moment, I made that decision. I had been working from home for a year or more at that point. I've been piddle farting around and doing a little of this and dabbling in that and jumping from thing to thing to thing, thinking, oh gosh, maybe this thing will work. And in that moment, I decided there was no more of that. You have got to make this work. So I did. I got online and I started amping up what I was doing. I started building a list. I started researching and learning and implementing and taking action. And I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked and I did. I started making more money, enough money that my husband has never brought up the topic of me getting a job again, which is really nice. But the problem was that I know this about myself, is that there's things that I don't like to do and I don't really care about them, so I don't do them. And unfortunately, when you're running a business, especially an online business, there are pieces of the puzzle that, whether you like them or not, they really need to be done. And that is where, I let so much money slide off the table because I just refuse to do split testing, tracking, all that kind of stuff that's important. But I just didn't care about it, so I didn't do it. I wanted to write. I wanted to blog. I wanted to connect. I wanted to help people change their lives. I didn't want to freaking split test an opt-in form. So I didn't. So yeah, I made some money, and enough to not bring up that conversation again, but it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to make money online from my home doing what I loved. And then, I did it. And then about 4 months ago, a system came into my life that I was finally open enough to hear. Because it had come around before. I'd seen it before. And I was like, oh, no. That is not my thing, not my style. I'm not going to do it. But then, everything's about timing, right? It came back in my life at just the right time. I was looking for a way to do what I loved and not do the stuff I hated and just make killer money online. So I watched the video and I could see the brilliance of the system. Here are people who love to do split testing. God. Here are people who like to do all the things that I don't know how to do. Here are people who are brilliant at putting together a funnel, which is another thing that I refused to do over all those years. People who have made millions and millions of dollars and were willing to do all of those things for me. All I had to do, write and connect. The two things that I've always wanted just to be able to do. So I watched the video, I hit the buy button, I got in, and I just felt this huge sense of relief that finally, all those pieces that I knew I was dropping the ball on were being taken care of. And now all I had to do, blog, I love blogging, connect, I love connecting, and get money. And I'm getting money. There were times when I would not even have $1,000 months over the last 5 years. And now I'm having $5,000 days. Yeah. while, this is the best part, while I'm at horse riding lessons with my daughter. Not while I'm sitting here typing on the computer, racking my brain and trying to make it work. No, I'm out living my life and spending time with my family. And the system is taking care of everything. I've had $500 days. I've had $1,000 days. In the last almost 4 months, over $6,000. Hello, it works. But here's the deal. I had to make a decision to let somebody else handle some of the other pieces of the puzzle. I'm not very good at that. I kind of like to control everything. You can't do it though. If you're not going to do it, let somebody else do it. If you don't know how to do it, let somebody else do it. People who know how to do it and are really, really good at it. Stick with the pieces that you love and let somebody else do the rest. That's what this system has done for me. And it's working. And not only is it working and I'm making money, I'm having so much fun. And I have so much free time to actually spend with my family, which is why I wanted to stay home in the first place. It can work for you too, but you're going to have to make a decision. And the very first decision you're going to have to make is to put your name and your email in the space provided below this video. And the second decision you're going to have to make is to sit through the video that's coming next on the next page. It's kind of long, it's kind of wacky, the guy's a little crazy, but it's the video that changed my life. And if you watch it all the way through to the end, it'll change your life too. My name is Jackie Lee, and I'm a blogger and a mom and a wife, and I'm finally making money online, and you can too. Go ahead, put your email address down there in the spot below and watch the video on the next page, and then click the buy button and get started. That's all it takes. You can do it. I'll see you on the inside.